Good Wednesday evening, everybody. Wanted to give you a quick weather update. Of course, everybody talking about Irma and in and around Charlotte this afternoon. What a shock. Temperatures right now in the low to mid 60s. We have the cloud cover. We've had the rain. There's a cold front moving through the area, which is going to be fantastic news for the next couple of days if you're in Charlotte. And, of course, with the very latest on Irma here in just a second. But just want to show you real quick on our Mike Johnson's Hickory Toyota Tower Cam, the skyline this evening. Again, if you're out and about or heading home from work, or perhaps you just got home from work, again, we have a lot of cloud cover out there. Still some lingering rain. The skyline from times is in and out of clouds out there. Not the best afternoon, but hang in there. It's going to get better. Area temperatures, again, not feeling like early September. That's for sure. Could be a lot hotter. Right now, 64 degrees. 63, 64 is pretty common. In the high country, upper 50s, close to 60 degrees. So without the sunshine, probably need at least a long sleeve shirt into the evening if you do have outdoor plans. Satellite radar, the good news for us, this is the back edge of the moisture right now. So yes, Charlotte, we're still dealing with some pockets of light to moderate rainfall, but notice off to the west, we break up the clouds significantly into the foothills, even some breaks in the clouds, some sunshine up into the high country, that drier air funneling into Charlotte here over the next 2 or 3 hours. Right now, the rain basically extends right along I-77, perhaps a little bit west into Lincoln and Gaston and York and Chester counties. But again, this will all shift off to the east. If you're seeing rain right now, don't worry, it'll come to an end here over the next 2 or 3 hours, and then that should be it. We zoom things out. High pressure will build in behind this, and really, of course, everybody's talking about Irma, but just keep in mind the next couple of days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are going to be absolutely beautiful, probably the best weather we've seen since the month of May or June. Temperatures in the 70s, overnight lows in the 50s. Crack the window in the house, get the fresh air, lots of sunshine, no humidity. I mean, this is going to be some really good stuff. But, of course, everybody's talking about Irma, so we'll get down to that. But don't forget about how nice it's going to be here. Irma, not a lot of change since what we dealt with yesterday. Still a beautiful-looking hurricane. Again, it looks good. The problem is it just means it's extra destructive. No shear. Again, perfectly circular right now just to the north and east of the Puerto Rico area. Check out that eye right now. Pretty much textbook as what you would expect for a very strong hurricane out there. Remember, this is a top 5 hurricane in the Atlantic, so it's about as strong as they get. On the radar right now out of Puerto Rico, again, they're just getting absolutely drilled with heavy rain right now. Rain rates probably 2 or 3 inches an hour, very tropical, and certainly is dealing with some hurricane force winds there. The one good thing for Puerto Rico, the British Virgin Islands, they just got hit by this. It was a direct hit. Good thing for Puerto Rico, this will stay just up to the north. That doesn't mean they're not dealing with hurricane force winds and a hurricane. They're just not getting the brunt of this. The strongest winds would be right here in the eye wall. Again, you can just see it so well defined, but they're going to be dealing with that through the night tonight. And notice on the visible, this was just an absolutely incredible shot right now. This is what it would look like if you were in space looking down at the actual storm. Check this out. You can see all the cloud cover. Here's the eye. The sun's beginning to set. That's why you see a little bit of a shadow right here. But just an incredible picture there with the visible satellite. And again, it looks good, but it's also very destructive. Anytime you get an eye like that with a hurricane, pretty much as strong as they get. Latest 5 p.m. update for the Irma. Notice the winds 185 miles per hour. Times gusting over 200 miles per hour, moving at a decent clip for a hurricane, 16 miles per hour to the west-northwest, and that pressure continues to drop 914 millibars. That is off the charts low. That doesn't get much lower than that. Again, it's a very healthy hurricane. I wish it wasn't, but that's just what we're dealing with right now. The latest track on Hurricane Irma continues to take it up to the west-northwest. Tomorrow it'll be just north of the Dominican Republic as a Category 5, so it won't be a direct hit here, though they will still feel some effects, some winds, and some rain. But again, this won't be the core of the storm. Still Category 5, then it slowly approaches to the northern side of Cuba, just south of Turks and Caicos, and then eventually just south of the Bahamas here. Here's Cuba. You can see at 2 o'clock on Friday, winds of 160 miles per hour. Yes, that's a little bit weaker than what it is right now, but it's not saying a whole lot. Still an incredibly strong storm. And then as it continues to move up to the west-northwest, eventually we're anticipating that strong hook to the north, but that's the million-dollar question. Exactly where does that happen and how quickly does that happen will ultimately determine how strong the storm is and exactly who gets impacted, Florida, the southeastern United States, or could it still go out to sea? Any of those options are still possible. Have to wait and see exactly where that hook happens. Right now, we're forecasting it to happen between the Bahamas and the Cuba areas, a Category 4 storm winds of about 155 miles per hour. At this point, probably just east of Miami. That would be, it looks like, probably Saturday night into Sunday as a Category 4 storm. But again, the latest trends here have shifted everything just a little bit further off to the east. Depending on where the storm is out of all this, then that'll help us to forecast later. But based on what we're guessing will happen at this point, where that hook will be, we then forecast it to move basically due north right up through Florida, just off of Jacksonville as a Category 3 storm, winds of 120 miles per hour. This will be Monday afternoon. If it continues in that track, that would give us our rain chances probably late Monday night into Tuesday. Very heavy rain, strong winds. But again, that's assuming that this track holds firm. Keep in mind this is over 5 days out, and the average room for error on 5-day tracks is 200 miles. So that's the average. So the likelihood is it will not take this exact track. It might be a little bit to the east, might be a little bit to the west. Could still hook. Any of those are still possibilities. But right now, based on the curvature here between the Bahamas and Cuba, we do expect it to head north. But again, there's so many variables at play here. We just don't know for sure just yet. At this point, you want to prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens here. But regardless, again, strong hurricane potentially off the southeast coast early next week. We'll have to wait and see exactly where this goes. Of course, as we get more information, we'll give it to you over the next coming days. Enjoy the evening. We do have showers out there the next couple of days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are beautiful. Don't look past that. It's going to be nice. But again, keep an eye on Irma. That would be early next week. Talk to you later.